The only survival training you didn't have was wife survival.
No, it was an experience because you hear so much that you hear about, some of these aggressive interrogation methods and the war on terrorism. All of this was meant to give us some taste of what was like, except for waterboarding.
Was that going on at the time?
Well, I think the like SEALs and Green Berets and so on would get even more advanced
Training in that.
training and exposure to those techniques. Ours, for example, I can describe one where initially we were at night, we had to try and work our way through an area, and then the instructors would obviously catch us and throw us into isolation. Isolation was a small enclosure, dark, cold,
Were you alone?
no food, alone, with a tape playing constantly, a baby crying.
Oh my God.
So it was sleep deprivation, it was isolation, it was all those things. And in my case, I think this gets a little bit kind of uncomfortable. But
you should tell them.
finally, instructors came, they were playing the role of guards with a cup of hot broth, which was wonderful. You're cold and Within about a few minutes, I found myself experiencing, which I can only describe as close to dysentery as you could ever imagine, with cramps and pain.
So did they give you something that caused
No.
that?
Well,
Oh, you
the
don't think so?
answer is yes, afterward.
Yeah.
But the challenge then was to, what do you do? From that phase, you were put into a prison compound where you were able to build fire if you could find some wood, which we did. And we've been taught a number of things in the classroom, including what do you do in this circumstance? And if you get some charcoal out of a fire, that is like a piece of wood that's charred, and it's not hot, you start chewing on that. And I was in that fire, pulling these pieces of wood out, charred pieces of wood, chewing on as best I could. But I had spasms and pain, and then we went into the interrogation phase and into one event where they put us into the ground in a casket-like enclosure and then closed it on you, all of which is trying to break you down, of course. But as far as I was concerned at that point, it was some relief to just lay there and relax.
Well, I guess you could breathe in there.
In the interrogation, you have to remember, this is 1965, so we hadn't made the transition yet into the war in South Vietnam, so the instructors are still playing the role of Russians, in interrogation. And I thought that was kind of amateurish, because I'd been taking Russian language for 3 years and studying the Soviet orbit and the rest of it, and their role playing was not very persuasive. So. But anyway, it was an experience.